Hi, good morning dear my students. Today we are starting a second section of physics. Since the last class, due to some problems, we couldn't record the section. So now I am trying. I don't know. A warm good morning, dear students. Since the first session we couldn't record, so I am summing up this that what we are taking in first section. We discussed about force and pressure. Okay, hope you are all attending the class. You are listening the class. You can follow me. Okay, in the first section we discussed about some actions of force because when we are applying a force, it is like hitting, throwing, pushing, kicking, lifting, pulling, something like that, etc. Okay, so these actions of force we can categorize into two, that is force and pushing and pulling. Pushing means the force applied to make an object away from oneself, and pulling means force applied to bring an object closer to oneself. So these actions of force can be categorized under pushing or pulling. Okay. And so we can define the force is defined as a push or a pull, that we already discussed. Okay. Then we said that a force is come into contact only when two bodies are in interact, or two bodies in interact. And then after that we discussed about when two or more forces applying on an object, what will be the effect. For that we discussed about tug of war and this pushing or pulling this box. And here we can see that if two forces are acting in opposite direction, what will happen? The force will be total force will be the difference between two forces. And when two forces are applying in same direction, the resultant force will be the sum of two forces, that is F1 plus F2. This here we can see that they are giving a force in the one direction, same direction, so the resultant force will be the sum of two forces. And in next case, if they are applying a force in different direction, that time the total force will be the difference between two forces. And unit of force is Newton. And what you meant by resultant force? When two forces are acting in same direction, the resultant force will be the sum of two forces. If it is in opposite direction, the resultant force will be the difference between two forces. So we can conclude that if one or more forces acting on a body, the effect on the body is due to net force acting on it. Okay, then Then we discussed what are the effect a force can do. So first of all, it can increase the speed. In rolling a tire, we can see when we are applying a force, it can increase the speed. Also, it can decrease the speed. If you are applying a force in opposite direction, it will be the speed will be decreased. So it can increase or decrease the speed. Or a stationary object, we can move as a stationary object. If you are applying a force, we can move a stationary object. And the next one is we can change the direction of motion using applying a force. So we can change the speed or change the direction. And so we can say that a force can change state of motion. State of motion means if the body is in state of rest or state of motion or in the direction, together we call it as state of motion. So we can say that a force can change the state of motion. And also the force can change the shape of the object. If he is blacksmith applying a force on the red hot iron, the shape of the iron will change. So we can say that can change the shape of object. So together we can say that a force can change the state of motion or direction of the object, the shape of the object. So as a conclusion, we can say that we can define the force as it is a physical quantity that can change the state of motion or the shape of the object. This much we studied in the last class. Now we are moving to next section, that is types of forces. In these all cases, we discussed that there should be an interaction between two bodies when the force is getting into picture. So, but we can see that if we are bringing a iron nail near to the magnet, what will happen? The iron nail moves towards the magnet. So, in that we can see that there is no physical contact between the iron nail and magnet. Then also it can come into play. So, we can divide the forces into contact force and non-contact force. Contact force and non-contact force. കേൾക്കത്തില്ലേ? It is not necessary to be two objects in direct physical contact. It can be a third person or a medium. See here, a man is pushing a car. Here, the man touches the car and applying a force on the car. Here you can see that there is a physical contact or there is a direct physical contact. Okay, but here blacksmith is applying a force on the red iron hole. Here we can see that the blacksmith is not touching the iron. He is applying a force through a hammer. The hammer is act as a third person or a medium. Okay, so the non-contact force need not be in direct contact. It can be a third person or it can be through a third person or a medium. Then we call it as contact forces. Okay, so what is contact force? The force that acts only when two bodies on physical contact. The force that acts only when two bodies on physical contact, that force is called the contact forces. Good. Hope it is clear for you. So examples of contact forces are muscular force, frictional force and mechanical force. Muscular force, frictional force and mechanical force. Now we are going to study more about these contact forces. First of all, it is muscular force. What do you mean by muscular force? Here you can see we can lift a bucket full of water by applying a force. We have to lift the bucket. We have to apply a force on the bucket. How we are applying a force? Where this force coming? How we can apply a force on this bucket? First of all, we are touching the bucket. When we are touching also, there will not be any force. And then after that, we are applying a force. Where is the source of that force? It is because of actions of our muscles. So it is called as muscular force. Okay, if we want to move an object, we have to push or pull or lift the object. Here all situations we are using muscular muscles, and it is called it as muscular force. Athlete uses muscular force for running. So whatever activity we are doing, this all needs muscular muscles, and the force is called the muscular force. So how we can define muscular force? The force that caused by actions of muscles inside the body. The force that caused by actions of muscle inside the body is called the muscular force. So can you say some muscular force that is acting inside your body? Is there any muscular force acting inside your body? In the 7th class you studied detailed about digestion. So how the digestion takes place? The food first goes to the oral cavity, then should pass goes to stomach, that and all. So how this food is moving towards stomach? You studied that it is because of actions of muscles. So there also the muscular forces come into play. Can you say some other examples inside our body that muscular force we are using? Just think about respiration. In respiration also, how this respiration takes place? The expansion of and contraction of muscles, that is diaphragm. Because of contraction and expansion of muscles, we can respire. So there also we are using muscular force. You can find out some more examples what we are using as muscular force inside the body. So what and all actions we are doing, that and all because of muscular force, and the force exerted by the muscles is called the muscular force. Then why we call it as muscular force is a contact force. Muscular force is a contact force because there should be a physical contact between two objects. Then only muscular force can come into play. There should be a physical contact between two objects. Then only the muscular force is come into play. So we can call this muscular force is a contact force. The next type of force is frictional force. Frictional force. What is this frictional force? So just imagine you are pushing a toy car. After some time, what will happen? Decreases the speed and gradually it comes to rest. Am I correct? When you are pushing a toy car, it first it start move, then after that it decreases the speed and gradually it comes to rest. Why it is so? So according to our discussion, there should be a force acting on the car, then only the car can stop. Because we studied for starting an stationary object or stop an moving object, we need force. So what the force acting on the toy car? Also when we are pushing a ball, it starts move and after some day you can see that it will stop. So any moving object, if you are not applying any external force, it will gradually goes to stop position. So what is the force acting on that bodies? Where this force, or is there any force acting on the body? The force acting on the body is called the frictional force. Then how frictional force come into play? If any moving body, if it is in contact with other surfaces, there will be an opposing force acting towards the opposite direction of motion. That is called the frictional force. The frictional force is nothing but it is an opposing force that will act in the opposite direction of motion. So when the object cannot overcome this frictional force, it will stop. Okay, so here you can see that the man is trying to push an almara. Then he has to give a large force to move this almara. Why? Because this almara is in contact with the floor and there is a force of friction acting on the surface of contact. There is a frictional force acting on the surfaces of contact, and this frictional force opposing the motion of the object. So he has to apply more forces. If it is hanging on air, then what will happen? We have to apply less force to move the object. Why it is so? There also frictional forces come into play, but that time the frictional force is between air and the object. So the air has less frictional force, so it can move fast. Okay, so what is frictional force? It is the opposing force that opposes the motion of one body over the surface of another body. The opposing force that opposes the motion of one body over the surface of another body. That is called the frictional force. Hope you understood now. Then the next chapter we are going to study more about this frictional force. Don't worry about that. Now you have understood that it is an opposing force. It is act on the all moving bodies. If it is in contact with the other surfaces, there will be a frictional force acting on all bodies, and it is opposing the force. Then one more thing you have to remember, that it is in the opposite direction of motion. It is in the opposite direction of motion. Okay. Here you can see two pictures, that is two boys. One boy is in on a sea, other boy is in a leaf of a arecanut tree. Okay, we call it spala. And if you want to pull these two boys, which will be easier for you? If you want to pull these two boys, which will be easier for you? Is it a first case or second case? So second case will be easier for you because he is on a swing. And here in first case there will be a contact between the floor and the mat, so there will be a more frictional force. In two cases there are active frictional force, but in second case the frictional force is again with the air, the swing and with air, so it will be less force, and here the frictional force is acting between the floor and the mat, so we have to apply more force on the object. So it will be easier to pull this the second case, that is because of frictional force. Hope you understood now. The third contact force is mechanical force. What do you mean by mechanical force? It is the force exerted by the machines. All machines can exert some force, and this force is called the mechanical force. Here in this picture you can see a turbine using the hydroelectric project, hydroelectric power station, and when the force is applying on a turbine through water, what will happen? The turbine starts to rotate, and because of this rotation, it can rotate the dynamo and electricity can be produced. So this kind of force, force exerted by the machines are called the mechanical force. So we discussed about mechanical force, frictional force, and muscular force. Hope you understood about contact forces. Okay. Now we are moving to non-contact forces. Non-contact forces. What do you mean by non-contact forces? Here we discussed about magnetic force. Okay. In this case of magnetic force, what we can see, even if there is no physical contact between the objects, between two objects, there will be a force. A force is coming into play. That type of force is called the non-contact forces. So we can define the non-contact forces: force that act when bodies are not physically in contact. Force that act when bodies are not in physical contact. That type of forces are called the non-contact forces. Here you can see that a boy is releasing a ball and a feather. Here this ball is going down. Why can't this go this ball in any direction, in other direction, or why can't they flow up? Why can't go in other direction? Why it is going down? Because there is a force acting on the ball that is called the gravitational force. That's why it is going down. Okay, this type of forces are. Here also we can see that there is no contact between this ball and the earth. Then also that force can come into play. That type of forces are called the non-contact forces. And examples of non-contact forces are magnetic force, electrostatic force, and the gravitational force. magnetic force, electrostatic force and gravitational force. Now we are going to study more about magnetic force. In this picture you can see one magnet having north and south pole. This is the south pole and this is the north pole of the magnet. Okay, if we are bringing another magnet near to this magnet, what will happen? If I am bringing other magnet south pole here, what will happen? We can see that it will repel each other, moving away from each other. Why it is so? This is same type of poles and it will repel each other. If you are bringing a north pole here, what will happen? It will attract each other. So, in these cases we can see that there is no physical contact between two magnets, then only a force is come into play. That is called a magnetic force. Here, I am cutting this magnet here. Then what will happen? This piece of magnet have only north pole? No, not at all. That time the other side is acting as south pole and here this side is acting as north pole. Okay, so every object have its own north pole and south pole, and like poles repel each other and unlike poles attract each other. Okay, so when I am bringing an iron nail near to the magnet, what will happen? The iron nail is get attracted towards the magnet or it is moving towards the magnet. So, this type of force we call it as magnetic force. Then what do you mean by magnetic force? The force exerted by magnets on iron objects or other magnets. That is called a magnetic force. Then, so there is a peculiarity in magnetic force. It can be attractive or it can be repulsive. It can be attractive as well as repulsive, magnetic force. So what is magnetic force? Force exerted by magnets on other objects, and it can be repulsive as well as attractive. Then here we can see one application. Can you use to extract iron objects from the garbage? So many other applications are there for magnet, you will study later. The next one is electrostatic force. What do you mean by electrostatic force? In the name itself, you can see electrostatic. Electro means something related to electric field and static means which is stationary. Electrostatic means the force exerted by the stationary charges. That is called the electrostatic force. This charge can be applied some kind of force, and this force is called the electrostatic force. Force of attraction or repulsion exerted between two charged bodies are called the electrostatic force. Here you can see that when we are rubbing in straw with a paper, what will happen? You can see that when we take a plastic straw and rub it, the plastic straw can acquire some type of charges. It can be positive or negative charges, and so that body we can call it as charged body. So when it acquires some charges, we can call it as charged body. This charged body can attract or repel some other bodies, some other uncharged body or charged body. This kind of force is called electrostatic force. Also, when we are combing your dry hair, what will happen? You can see that some hair is going towards the comb. If you are using plastic comb, you can see that some of your hair moving towards plastic comb. It is also because of electrostatic force, because while combing, it is action of rubbing. So while combing, this hair acquires some kind of charges, and it can be attract other charged bodies or uncharged bodies. This kind of force is called the electrostatic force. Here you can see that a balloon is rubbed and this charged balloon can attract small pieces of paper. So any charged body can attract or repel other charged body, that is called the electrostatic force. Then remember, the electrostatic force also can be attractive as well as repulsive. If a charged body, if a positively charged body bring near to a other positively charged body, it will repel each other. And if we are bringing a negatively charged body or uncharged body near to the positively charged body, it will attract each other. Okay, got the idea? Then we are moving to gravitational force. What do you mean by gravitational force? As you know that every object in the earth is attracted towards the center of the earth. That type of force is called gravitational force. Every object in the earth is attracted towards the center of the earth. That is called the gravitational force of earth. Here also we can see that there is no physical contact between the objects and the earth. Then only that force can come into play. That type of force is called the gravitational force. Not only the earth can give rise to gravitational force, every object in the universe can attract each other, or there is an attractive force there between every object in the universe. That is called the gravitational force. Likewise, the earth also can attract objects. That is called gravitational force. This also coming under non-contact forces. The force exerted by Earth's gravity on all objects, that is called the gravitational force. It is because of gravitational pull, all objects that are moving towards the air is falling on the ground. So unlike magnetic and electrostatic force, this gravitational force is always attractive. It is always attractive in nature. Okay, now we can discuss some questions that is given in your textbook. To draw water from a well, we have to dash at the rope. To draw water from a well, we have to dash the rope. So it is pull or push. To draw water from a well, we have to pull the rope. Okay. A charged body dash an uncharged body. A charged body repel or attract an uncharged body. It is charged body and another is uncharged body, so it will attract. To move a loaded trolley, we have to dash it. To move a loaded trolley, we have to push or pull. If you are saying push, okay. Mute me. Hello, hi. No current here. ഇത് ഈസി ബോർഡ് എടുത്തിട്ടുണ്ട്, അതിൻ്റെ പെണ്ണെടുക്കുന്ന. ഇതിപ്പോൾ സിസ്റ്റം വർക്കാവും, കാരണം എന്തുണ്ടല്ലോ ഇത്രയൊന്നും ചാർജ് ഉണ്ടല്ലോ, പക്ഷെ പോകുന്നില്ലെന്നുള്ളതാണ്. സാറേ ഇത് ക്ലോസ് ചെയ്താക്കട്ടെ, ഇനിയിപ്പം ഇതും കഴിഞ്ഞിട്ട് പിന്നെ നമ്മൾ ക്വസ്റ്റ്യൻ ആൻസർ സെക്ഷൻ അല്ല, അപ്പം ഇത് നമുക്ക് ക്ലോസ് ചെയ്യത്തില്ലേ?